Good morning. I said I would do another video on our raised beds, our water troughs. This is another one that we bought from, I believe, Home Depot. They were about $150. It's pretty tall, and I do this because we're experimenting, and I have rheumatoid arthritis, which sometimes makes it hard to get down on the ground. And so we are just, we're experimenting, and that's what we do. And they have shorter ones that are less money. They have, they're shorter this way, but also height-wise for lower costs. And so it's definitely worth experimenting with. Like if you had a balcony, I don't think it could support the weight. This is really heavy. Like we could not move this right now. It's even tipping it is a bit of a challenge. So similar to our other video where I talked about our potatoes that rotted because they got overwatered and didn't drain. That almost happened here as well. Luckily, this bed didn't get as much water in it, and so everything survived. I had 4 tomato plants. They're still kind of scraggling along. Today is October 1st, so it is definitely late in the season. I had 2 more tomato plants here. Got some onions that I still need to pick, some onions and some scallions. I planted very early in the season cauliflower. And interestingly, it wasn't until late summer that we started getting actual cauliflower heads. And you will see these burned leaves. And this is one of the experimental things that I learned. Similar to the other bed, when we filled this, we didn't have enough to fill it with all soil. We put bags of dried leaves and sticks and stuff in the bottom, which we thought would break down over time, and I still think they will, and that will be good. But there was just a lot of settling, a lot more settling than we thought, and so the plants are lower than we thought, which really isn't that big a deal in terms of there's still plenty of soil for them to be growing in. However, what I think has happened is the cauliflower did not sprout heads until later in the summer because this got really hot in the sun. This gets boiling hot, like you can't even touch it in the daytime sun, kind of hot. And then all these leaves that touch it, they all scorch and burn. So you'll see all these burned leaves on the side. Now it's October 1st, and so that's not as big of a deal. And some of these, like this one's really starting to grow, and I'm kind of excited about it. But these are kind of funky looking, and I think they're still edible, and I think I'm still going to eat them. I like the colors in them, but I planted other cauliflower that is a giant, big, classic white head of cauliflower that's just in the ground on the other side of our yard, and it's just kind of weird that these kind of look a little funky, y'all, and I think it's just that heat and whatever. So this has a plug in the side. That you definitely want that. Like if you overwater, you want that water to be able to come out, or you're going to drown your plants. And it's hard to know sometimes how much to water. You know, you don't want to overwater, you don't want to underwater, but if you have a hole in the bottom where the water can drain out, it's a lot harder to overwater. So anyway, that's how things are doing here. We've gotten a lot of tomatoes. The varieties we got they're pretty small. Some were from saved seeds, some were from, my husband, I think, bought 2 plants, and then I planted 2 plants, but they all have kind of smaller sized romas on them, but they're really good. We're using them like crazy. We've picked a couple tomato or onions from in here. We're going to pick this cauliflower for sure and do something with it. It's very interesting, all the colors. Kind of got purple, and we kind of got some green. It almost looks like broccoli. It's just crazy, but it'll get eaten one way or another, even if the chickens eat it. It's kind of funky. And we've just added compost in here, not compost, mulch recently. We had a big storm a few weeks ago, and it brought down a lot of trees, and one of the neighbors was having one of their trees chopped down and mulched basically and taken away, and we're like, hey, we'll take that mulch. So we got some new mulch added here and there, but it's all good. But it's amazing that it's October And we're still getting produce out of our garden. We're still getting tons of zucchinis. We're getting some strawberries. I can actually see one now, right? I don't know if you can see it, but it's over there. We're getting some peppers, tons of zucchini, tons of white scallop squash, and some butternut squash. Tomatoes are still coming in like crazy. So yeah, it's been a decent year. All right, take care. Bye.